because we hit 420 subscribers. It is time to chat Stoner Comedies. And I couldn't be more happier than what we're about to do. Let us know in the comments your favorite stoner movies.
I can't believe we haven't done this yet.
I can't believe that I'm not stoned, though. That's my thing. I like to not get stoned before this episode.
I'm going to be very honest. Last week, when 420 had the potential of happening, I was like, we have to get Max to do a video.
I'm going to do a video, but I will be stoned for that. All right, cool. Yes, let's do this. Let's get into top 5 stoner movies.
Number 5 for me is A Very Harold and Kumar Christmas. It is amazing, and I'm really sad that I'll never get the experience of seeing it in 3D again, because I remember seeing that in 3D, and I remember I love the Harold and Kumar series. I'm sure they're gonna pop up again on my list, but the first and third one, the Christmas one, is just if you haven't seen it, I recommend going back. There's some cheap 3D gimmicks that don't really play well in 2D, but other than that, I mean, the baby gets stoned on, I think, acid. It's just, the whole movie is amazing. Like, it is so good.
No, I think the baby was cocaine.
Cocaine, okay. Yeah, you're right.
Well, hi.
I love John Chu and I love Kal Penn, and if they ever announce a 4th Harold and Kumar movie, I will not be mad at it. I love their chemistry, and even in the third one, it's still just as strong.
That one was better than I was expecting, because like I was not a huge fan of Harold and Kumar 2, so I was like, oh, here we go, the 3D, and like Neil Patrick Harris is great in this one, and
him being gay is a gimmick that he uses to be popular, and him and his boyfriend like hate each other. Like, it's actually his real life husband in the movie, and then they get grossed out when they kill. Oh, it's so funny, so good.
Oh yeah, no, that was way better than I thought it was going to be. I was so pleasantly surprised. I'm not mad at it making the list here, for sure. It's like definitely a solid stoner flick.
Hey, the addition of Thomas Lennon, I love that guy as well, and Machete as the father-in-law. Yeah, I'm all in.
Danny Trejo.
Yeah. Thank you. I was blanking the name for some reason, man. But he plays a guy who's obsessed with Christmas, and if he doesn't have the perfect Christmas tree.
My number 5 is Friday. Ice Cube and Chris Tucker as Smokey, and I just love that movie.
Friday, absolutely one of the greatest stoner movies of all time. That was going to be higher on my list, but no, it definitely belongs on anyone's list.
Yeah, both the first 2 Fridays.
Playing with my money's like playing with my emotions, Smokey.
Man, he was so good. He was my favorite part of that movie.
My number 5 is going to Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. One of my favorite Kevin Smith movies. Classic, super awesome stoner flick. Great soundtrack.
I remember when you used to watch that movie twice a day. Like, you loved that movie.
Yeah, no, I'm a huge fan of that movie.
Might be a lot.
But what gets me too is if a movie's got a super solid soundtrack, like, it keeps me in there. So it's like, check out the soundtrack if you don't believe me or if you haven't heard it. It is 100% solid.
My number 4, it's Cheech and Chong's next movie. It's the one I saw first, which might be why it resonated with me first. But there's so many fun bits in this movie. It also has Paul Reubens as Pee Wee Herman, playing the more adult version of Pee Wee Herman that was around before, it became popular with the movies and the show and stuff. But Cheech and Chong's next movie. Check it out if you haven't seen it. I think it just recently came out on Blu-ray.
Number 4 for me is Pineapple Express. That when I first saw the movie, it cracked me up. I'm not sure it aged as well as other movies, but like this one, when it first came out, I watched it a ton. It was a lot of fun.
Seth Rogen in general is one of those guys. He doesn't always make the best movie, but he always cracks me up. There's not a movie that he is in where I'm not laughing. Even if the movie is shit, he makes me laugh a lot.
I don't like. Oh God, what's his name?
James Franco, folks.
Yeah,
I like Dave Franco, but yeah, I agree with James Franco.
Just on his acting merits, I'm not a fan of his. But no, Pineapple Express is all right. I didn't hate that movie, but I can just deal with like 80% less James Franco in my life. Number 4 is going to How High with Method Man and Redman.
Yeah.
I left it off my list because I knew you were going to put it on there. Benjamin Franklin invented the first bong. I remember that movie.
Yes, I love it. It's a great. It's good for the Wu-Tang fans. It's good for stoner movie fans, and I think this is Meth and Red's best work acting together.
I wish they had made a sequel with Meth and Red.
They still can, like I'd be down if someone wants to, like give it a treatment now. Like I would go watch it. Like, but I didn't watch the sequel because it didn't have Meth and Red, and I was like, this is stupid.
My number 3 is my favorite Franco and Rogan movie. It is This Is Us. Oh, This Is the End.
Oh. I don't think you're watching this.
It is TLC.
Forget favorite stoner comedies. It's in my top 10 comedies of all time. Like, I love everything about this movie. Like, it never lets up on the laughs. And I'm trying to think of the guy's name. I was never really a fan of his until Danny
Channing
McBride.
Tatum.
This movie made me
man.
love Danny McBride. Emma Watson thing where they're talking about, making sure nobody rapes her, and she overhears the conversation thinking that they're planning like a gang rape.
Yeah.
This whole movie, and Michael Cera with I love this movie. It is the greatest thing ever. I'm sad that we haven't gotten a sequel to it.
Well, it was the end.
Well,
how are you supposed to get a sequel?
They all got raptured. Yeah.
They were talking about doing a sequel where they all left the premiere of this movie in the movie, and then the rapture actually happened. But
no.
Channing Tatum as Danny
was so good. His cameo was so good in this movie. This movie, because I was never a Channing Tatum fan, but this movie, he's funny. Like, he's really
got good
funny.
timing.
When they decided to put Channing Tatum in comedies, that's when he really started to click with me. Like, this guy's not afraid to make fun of himself.
No, and
I love
he's
this.
actually funny. Yeah, he's good. Like, I definitely, I'm not watching Magic Mike. I'm not gonna do that. But you give me a good comedy with Channing Tatum in it, I'll give it. I'm like 21 Jump Street. Yeah, I'm down for that.
Number 3, Dave Chappelle, Half Baked.
Okay.
Did I script your list? I'm sorry. I saw your face just drop. I was like,
I had that at number 2. I still have I don't know. I'll throw in one of my alternates.
That's another one I left off my list because I figured it'd be on Max's.
Change up my list, but no, I freaking love this movie. I love it.
Yeah, it's so funny. I can't get enough of Dave Chappelle.
No, he's great. And then my parents are Jamaican, so the whole Jamaican thing. I'd be from Jamaica, man. A lot of mercy. I can't get enough. And I showed that to my parents. I'm like, you guys gotta watch this part of this movie. It's so wonderful. And they looked at me like I was crazy and stupid.
Are we sure he's ours?
Yeah, I was like, you don't like it? And they're like, no, get out of here. I felt the wrath, yo. The wrath of the nunchucks.
Good morning, Sir Sturdy. Good morning.
Good top of the morning to you.
Yeah, I saw Half Baked probably 10 or 11 times in the theater. Especially when it hit the dollar theater, I was going pretty regularly.
For at least $5 worth.
That movie's great. Yeah, I love it. How High, my number 3, and we're gonna insert Puff Puff Pass. You've probably never heard of it, but it's got Mekhi Phifer and a bunch of people you've never heard of before. It's not great, but it's just one of those movies that I saw in its time, and I freaking love it. Yeah, it's a fun story about two stoners, and it's a typical stoner movie, but Mekhi Phifer plays this drug dealer or something, and it's freaking. It's good. It's a solid play. So Puff Puff Pass, you probably never heard of it, but go check it out.
It may not be a traditional stoner movie, but it is definitely one that I wouldn't mind sucking down a gummy before I watch it, and that is Idiocracy.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah. Oh, sucking down.
Sucking down a gummy. I said what I said, man. I said what I said.
I know, and I'm sorry you said it.
I regret nothing.
I just love that they were watering their plants with Gatorade because they thought plants need electrolytes. And
yeah,
I laugh about
that's
that.
What plants crave.
Yeah.
What do they
That
call it?
movie started off
Rondo?
as a
Rondo.
and it's slowly becoming a documentary.
Yeah, it's friggin' solid flick. Was that Luke Wilson and what's
Jerry
that actress's
Cruz,
name? Oh, Maya Rudolph.
Rita?
Yes.
Yeah,
She's really good in that one too.
oh, such a good movie. Dax Shepard is in it, and Justin Long.
Yeah.
is on-
Yeah, Dax Shepard is solid in this movie too.
Real solid, yeah.
It's a prediction of the future, and we are hurtling towards it.
It's really scary how close this thing is getting. Number 2, Dazed and Confused. It's my brother's favorite movie, so I made sure to include it. But it's a good one.
Yep. That's on my alternates list. Yeah, no, it's a solid. That's a classic.
I've never seen it. I've never seen Fear and Loathing either. So those two have been omitted from my list because I haven't seen them.
Fear and Loathing I wouldn't count as like a stoner movie. It's a drug movie, but it's not like a stoner movie. I don't know, like if that makes any sense to anybody, but
you have to be in a mood to see Fear and Loathing because that was a lot. That was that wasn't heavy, but like
it's just out there.
Yeah.
But Dazed, yeah, I'm a little surprised, Jason, just because like you pretty much. I mean, I guess like there's you haven't watched a lot of like the older stuff. You have to get caught up on a lot of things. Like you hadn't seen Top Gun or something.
I hadn't. There's like a small period that I missed of movies. My movies that I've missed watching are very random. Like I've seen the movie Clifford. If you don't know what that is, it's an awful Martin Short movie. But I haven't seen Dazed and Confused. I don't know what to tell you.
So you definitely should watch Dazed and Confused. Like it's one of those movies that's like now it's kind of like cliche or whatever because like everyone's kind of copied off Dazed and Confused. So you've seen the movie, but you just haven't seen that movie.
Right.
I know that's where the all right came from.
Yes. Matthew McConaughey plays a pedophile.
Yeah. We were like about high school girls. They stay the same age as I get older.
I get older,
like
they stay the same age.
It was super creepy.
All right. No, just fucking.
Oof.
Yeah. I'm so super surprised that like Matthew McConaughey had a career after that. So it's like gross, bro. Fucking gross. This isn't a Jar Jar Binks situation where you read that you're like, I don't know if this is gonna come off or not. He's like, you want me to say what? No, I'm not saying that.
I think we've all just come to understand that older comedies have some questionable material in them. Like one of my favorite comedies of all time is Revenge of the Nerds, but there's a huge asterisk next to that movie. All right, Max, what's your number 2?
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh, I should have had any of those on there. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, you can really. I'll say that the Bill and Ted franchise is going my number 2. I love it. I even like the last one. I thought it was better than it was supposed to be. I'm 100% down. It's just a solid flick, and back to my childhood. I've seen the movie 800 times. And I don't even think they're not even stoners. They're just stupid. Yeah, but I had to count it.
Well, for my number 1, this movie would not exist without Bill and Ted or Cheech and Chong or any of the duos that came before, and that is Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
2 Harold and Kumar movies on here.
I love. I agree with you about Harold.
You couldn't just go franchise for the one pick. You had to.
That movie. The second one is a lot more mean-spirited than the first and third one. But I love Neil Patrick Harris in the second one. But we got Barney on How I Met Your Mother because of Neil Patrick Harris. He has a career now because of how Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. It's such a simple premise, and a lot of fun quotable things came out of it for the time. Extreme. And, yeah, I love the movie.
My favorite is The Big Lebowski. The Dude.
Yes! We are in absolute agreement.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I freaking love this movie.
So good.
My wife for Valentine's Day 2 or 3 years ago rented out a theater and we watched The Big Lebowski.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude. I freaking love that movie. It is so good. Just stay away from my lady friend.
I just like he's in a bathrobe most of the movie, just living his best life. Man.
Oh my goodness! Oh, that's a bummer, man.
Yes,
Bummer.
I strive to be that laid back my whole life. Just whatever.
Me too. I fail constantly. Every other 5 minutes, I fail. But you know, you that's the pinnacle. That's where you want to be.
It is.
Like
it
the
truly
dude abides. The dude abides.
He sure does. So good.
Oh my goodness! No, that's the Coen brothers, right? That
Yeah.
do that one?
Yeah.
Just one of their best. You know, I shouldn't say one of their best. Like all their movies are good. Like, but oh my god, I love The Big Lebowski. It's just, it's a wild ride. You don't know when you watch the beginning of the movie, you're not gonna know how you got to the end of it. But like, it's just fun. The rug really ties the room together, and
the bowling scenes were some of my favorite too, where they're like bowling together, like John Goodman going nuts.
Oh my god, yeah, Walter and John Goodman as Walter is so good in this movie. What a character to play, and he just
nails it.
Just cranks this one out of the park. It is like you're not wrong, Walter. You're just an asshole.
I do like, Max, your love of The Big Lebowski so much so you didn't throw an alternate in there. Like, you kept it where it was.
Oh no, it was in the same spot. Like, we were in 100% agreement. It belongs at the top of the list. Like, there's no one taking this spot. The greatest Valentine's Day gift I've ever received was The Big Lebowski. And I'm sitting here like I don't think she had seen it, and I'm sitting here just like doing the whole dialogue of the movie, and she's like, "What is wrong with you?"
I'm very happy. Okay.